Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And for the first time, well actually third time.
Third time.
Oh yeah, third time.
Yeah, third time.
Whatever. Out from under the sun, a fresh-faced kid.
With a gleam in his eye. And
welcome to the show, our director, Aspen.
It's our girl on the couch today.
Our girl on the couch today.
Yikes.
And here are the goods. So, Suicide Squad.
All right.
Finally came out, just put everything out there, and it was a critical mess.
Yeah.
I mean, the last show we talked about it, and we said that, that it had mixed reviews, which it did, and out of nowhere, it just got blasted hardcore. So, it did break records, though. For 2016, number three. It was number 3. It opened with 135 million behind Captain America and behind BVS.
Yeah, but it passed Guardians.
But it blew the hell out of Guardians.
Yeah.
That did not sound right. But it tore it up because
Somewhere it sounded good.
Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014 grossed $94 million in 3 days. So this year, Suicide Squad just blew it out with 135.
Right.
So got a new August record, and it just goes to show that the fans, speak volumes.
Yeah, if it's a property we want to see, we will go out and support it. So
absolutely. Negative reviews. How do you? Well, you know what? Let's ask Aspen. Aspen, you got these negative reviews on this movie. Is it? You saw it? Is it merited? Do you think that they were right in blasting this movie as bad as they were?
I think people have to throw negative comments at it because either they think it's that good, so they need to kind of bring out the negative in it so that it doesn't get so hyped, so that people don't go so crazy about it. I mean, I think that's just personal experience with, like my own work. People have to find the negative in it because they think it's that good.
So do you think they're shooting it down because it's the first good one for DC, or because it's another superhero film, or do you just truly think that this was one of the best films to come out?
I don't think I have my own beef with it, to be honest, but even myself, it was really hard to find something that I hated about it because I am a fan. I'm a fan of DC. I'm a fan of the villains.
I mean, I got things I hated about this movie.
If you guys haven't seen it already, Terrence, like always, posts the review on this, and you hit some pretty good points on it. I saw it myself. It was good. It wasn't great. It didn't blow me out of the water. It didn't wow. I was not I was just not into it as much as I thought it was going to be.
No, we all wanted, just like when BBS came out, we wanted something to be like, that's it. That's what we've been waiting for. And this one had an opportunity with not a lot of things behind it that were already preset. They got to do whatever they wanted, and they just kind of tripped over themselves, and it just...
The movie was all over the place. Let's just be honest. The movie was all over the place, and I'm really starting to believe that Warner Brothers Animation needs to actually Warner Brothers Animation needs to get involved because they're the only ones that are truly putting out some really good stuff.
Yeah, let them write the story. Yeah,
let them
they know
write
how to do it.
Exactly. Get some of the people that have done the novels and stuff like that, have some kind of input, some kind of consulting in this.
Well, that's why we have Jeff Johns.
Yeah, but it doesn't even seem to be right. This is pre, I guess.
Yeah, this is pre Jeff Johns.
And suffering a little bit.
Sorry, David Ayer.
Suffering a little bit similar to what the Fantastic Four did, where they had a change in directors in the middle of production. I mean, this almost seems a little like that too, to where it was all out of place because of the very well documented reshoots, add humor and all this other stuff, and you saw it. You saw the difference in tone where it went from too serious, too funny, and this and that, and it was not consistent. So the only thing I can honestly say about it as far as positive is God bless Margot Robbie. Because she, and I've been saying it since freaking I don't know how long, she was the show. She was what she was. She's the only one that lived up to the hype.
I thought Will Smith as Deadshot did a great job.
Well, hold on. And I was going to add to that. Welcome back, Will Smith.
Yeah, man.
Welcome back,
awesome.
Will Smith. That is Will Smith. That's Independence Day. That's Stephen Hiller. That is Agent J. That is Will Smith.
If they would have had Will Smith in Independence Day Resurgent, I would have been able to tolerate that movie.
But then we wouldn't have Suicide Squad.
But then we went. No, he could have done them both.
No, he couldn't have. That's why he chose. That's why he didn't do it.
They would have changed the schedule.
All right. Well, anyway, well, they wrote 2 scripts, one with him in it and one without.
They would have changed the schedule.
All right. Anyway,
Will Smith could have been in both.
Welcome back, Will Smith. It was great to see you back, and not tell the truth and all that. So it was
Tell the truth.
He was chasing the truth. He's been chasing that Oscar. That's why he's going for these serious roles. But I'm glad he chose this role. He was amazing. He was Will Smith. So
I'm ready to see him in more things as Deadshot. But we didn't really get a chance to talk about what you liked and what you didn't like about this film.
Oh, okay. I have a card.
Yes, let's go over those.
Okay, so I guess I really only have 3 goods and then 3 bads because I was just trying to do the most. So obviously my first good, as anybody else, is the music. Duh.
Absolutely.
Like songs with Kanye, Logic, G-Eazy, like just...
Does he, I thought about it, I mentioned that in my review. In my review, I mentioned it about the music, but does he really get credit for just picking good songs? It's not like he had a composer there actually writing these. This wasn't a John Williams type deal when it was like, oh, they made these songs.
I don't even think that...
He was just like, I like this song. I like this song. I like this song. I'm going to put them all in my movie.
You know what? Here's my playlist. I'm going to put this over there. But I don't even think they had credit for that. Score.
No, they didn't. It was like, dun, dun, dun.
It was dumb. Anyway.
Whatever the cloud thing that they did, that whatever music they played, that was their score. That was it.
So what else?
Made it more enjoyable. Second one, Harley Quinn, obviously Margot Robbie. Her makeup, her costume, her acting, even, she just picked really good moments to be humorous, to where it kind of broke tension, but at the same time you have a point where it just got a little messy. And then with her, I put the Joker. I know people are having like mixed feelings about it, but I'm not saying he's my favorite because Heath Ledger is like always going to be the best to me, but I didn't hate it. I actually really liked what Jared Leto did with the Joker because he made it gangster. Like,
my exact words were, I hated him less. Those were my exact words. I didn't hate him as much. Well, but yeah, like you said, a perfect example. He was like a gangster who dressed like a clown. That's not the Joker to me.
It's Tony Montana with green hair.
Exactly.
It's Tony Montana with green hair, and
he did have a cool line though. He had some cool lines like, sweet talking me, and then it's like, oh, all that sweet talk's gonna get. What was how the line go? It was like all that sweet. Exactly. He had such a cool line. I don't remember what he said. Oh, all that chit chat's gonna get you hurt. That was a cool line, and it was like he
had moments.
Yeah, he had moments. I just never saw him as the Joker.
I think, and one of the you know what, Aspen, let's get to your bads real quick. We'll get into the rest of it later. Tell me about your bads.
The bads, okay. I did not like Enchantress at all.
Nobody liked Enchantress.
Honestly, Mom, Cara Delevingne, I love you, but they took like this really like ugly witch thing, and then like once they gave her her heart, they made her like really pretty. It was just Cara Delevingne, like
it was Zool.
Yeah, like it was just Cara Delevingne with
it was Gozer
voice, and I didn't like it.
In a sense, yeah.
And I even like leaned over to my mom and said like, why they gotta make her look so pretty? Like, because it's just Cara Delevingne. Like, she's a model. And of course she's gorgeous. So it's like,
I was just wondering why she was doing this whole.
Yeah,
and I was like, how does that affect her powers? I didn't get that. It was like the shimmy shake, the Shakira powers. Is that what it is? And it was
well, she was getting jiggy.
She was getting jiggy with it.
So what else happened?
One of the things that really disappointed me was not knowing the two.
Exactly.
Not knowing much of the backstory about Killer Croc, because Killer Croc is.
He was underutilized in this whole movie.
Yes, he was one.
So was the Joker.
Okay.
Well, at least you knew who the Joker was.
Which makes it more disappointing.
I felt like I shot down the Joker thing because people were saying, oh, he wasn't in it enough, but I felt like he was in every other scene. He just wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, he really wasn't. And obviously, we're going to get the whole Ultimate Edition of Suicide Squad.
The super duper Ultimate Edition, yes.
Because they showed us scenes with the Joker that never actually made it to the movie. The whole thing where he slaps Harley That didn't make it to the movie. The whole the machine gun thing, that didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah,
that wasn't the movie.
That was in a chopper.
Okay.
He was in a chopper.
Okay.
Hold on before you.
But go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so and my last one is go rated R or go home. Okay, the only competition for this movie is Deadpool, and which embraced all of its badness.
I mean, as dirty as Will Smith was with his mouth in his movie, the only thing that would have kept this movie that didn't push this movie to R is that we didn't see Harley's boobs, because this movie was basically borderline R. All the violence, and Will Smith, cursing every 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Will Smith.
Welcome back, Will Smith. I'm okay with it. It's bad boys to me.
So exactly, you brought up a good point, and because of it. There's a fan out there, a Reddit user, that wants to sue Warner Brothers for false advertising because the Joker is not in the movie as much.
Sue for that.
As much. From what it says, he's suing for false advertising because you're advertising the Joker heavily in this movie, and you watch the movie, and just like Aspen said, he's really in it only a few times in scenes, key moments here and there.
Hey, can I sue Sony for making a Ghostbusters film, and in the trailer they made me think it was actually a good movie and it turned out to suck?
Or
can I sue them for that?
Can we sue Sony for actually saying 30 years ago, 4 scientists?
Yeah, can we sue them for that? No, you can't sue for that. It's just they edited the film. They changed the way to edit the film. We all heard about the reshoots. We knew about the music video version, and then the David Ayer's super dark version that they didn't want to do because the BBS got all the bad backlash, which probably would have been a better movie, to be honest. I just wanted a few jokes. I didn't want a bunch of jokes. And so whenever they edited, they changed it. They did marketing based on what the original cut was, and then it changed. So he can't sue for that. This is he's hoping that they just go away money.
Probably. And what did you say? Start high, go low.
Yeah.
Settle for low. But Jared Leto's interpretation of the Joker is a little bit not. It's just not. It's a different version. It's a different whole different outlook on the character. Some like it, some don't. I'm not that big of a fan of it. But you cannot look over the fact that Leto himself gave a great performance in this incarnation. You might not like it, but he did his job, and it just sucked. And even he's come out and said that
they cut a scene.
So in all fairness, it's pretty much a shoot down to him because he went method for nothing.
He's like, I invested all this time in this character, and he cut all my scenes.
Exactly. He invested all this time and energy and focus and all of that for nothing. And it's bad. And whether or not they're gonna use him more and utilize him more in future films, if that's the case, maybe you'll get a pass, but you don't advertise him that way. You don't advertise him like he's a big part and then just not show him.
He shouldn't have been a big part of this film to begin with.
Absolutely.
It was about the Suicide Squad, not about Joker, unless he was going to be the villain.
There could have been so many different routes that they could have gone. And let me just say real quick.
Okay.
I saw Assault on Arkham. If you guys have not seen it, that is a Suicide Squad movie. I saw it, and it started out with the threat. And it's that threat that opened up, we need to get a team together.
Right.
This just started out with the team. Let's introduce all these. No, let's.
It was their way of introducing metahumans to the universe. Is that by saying that these particular people have particular powers, even though I don't believe that a lot of the characters in the Suicide Squad aren't really metahumans. Exactly. But that's the way they're selling them, so we just kind of go with it. That's what's going on in this particular universe. So they were trying to introduce metahumans to the universe, so that and set up a team to go forward and say they did it before, but they had no threat. Like you said, in Arkham Asylum, they had a threat and then they got a team together. This, they put a team together, and then, oh, lo and behold, something happened that we need the team now. So
here's what I'm thinking. Potentially that this actually sets up Suicide Squad 2, where it's actually the Assault on Arkham story arc, where Harley does not like the Joker.
Those are part of the scenes that got cut out because, like I say, he's abusive to her.
Exactly.
Just in the comic books in general, but they actually filmed scenes about that. Like I said, the whole fight that they had when he pimp slaps her because he's like a pimp to me. And and they said in one of the deleted scenes is that where like she jumps out. In the original cut of that scene, he pushes her out not to save her, but just to get rid of her. And then they just happened to get shot down at that particular point. But he was trying to like, go away type deal. So they're trying to show which was a better interpretation of their relationship. The whole thing is that she's obsessed with him and he finds her as a possession, but he really doesn't care if she lives or dies.
Right.
That's their relationship. Yeah, that's their relationship. They do this whole thing where they're like, oh, they're just so meant to be together and she loves him and he's a bad boy, but he still cares. And that's not the freaking Joker. That really annoyed me when I saw that. And I was like, okay, if you want to set up as the initial thing, fine, but that's not really their relationship.
And that's why I say that I think that's maybe how it starts out with, and then it turns into what it actually is in later films. Now you got to remember that the DC universe is only 3 movies in their whole thing. So you have to give it a chance a little bit, and we'll get into the future of DC.
And that's why they should have made him the villain instead of making Enchantress the villain.
I agree 100%. Now I was going to ask you something. Okay, so now that you saw it, do you think that he is not the Joker? Do you think he is, according to the rumors and theories that we were talking about last time?
Oh, about him, Jason Todd?
Or Ken Drake?
He's a Joker. He's a Joker. The only one that, it really bothered me because Scott Eastwood was in this film.
Yes, he was. And I really thought he was going to be somebody important.
He is okay, he's not a super big name, but he's at least Cara Delevingne big name. To where like he should have been somebody that he shouldn't have just been he was an extra in this film. With the film. And I don't know if they cut scenes out for him. And I was hoping that he was Nightwing. And he was just an extra, and that really disappointed me because I think Scott Eastwood's a good actor, and for him to include him in a movie was kind of like putting Daniel Craig in Star Wars and then hide him under a helmet,
or Stallone in Guardians 2,
and then just like, oh yeah, he was in the movie type deal, and I was like, because that's all I got besides the fist bump. Which did we even see the fist bump thing in there? I think they cut that out too. they just robbed Scott. If anybody should complain about this movie about scenes getting cut out, it should be Scott Eastwood.
Well, what's hilarious is that Jared Leto actually is seen more in Rick Ross's video for Purple Lamborghini than he's in the whole Suicide Squad. So you want to see Jared Leto really portray the Joker? Watch that video, and you'll be good. So, you got your 3 strikes here. You got 3 strikes. You got Man of Steel.
Okay.
Foul tip. You got BBS strike 1.
Okay.
Really. And Suicide Squad Strike 2. What is this future? What does that say of the future? How much pressure now is on Wonder Woman, Justice League,
so much,
Flash, and all this other stuff?
So much pressure's on Wonder Woman. But not Flash, not Aquaman. Wonder Woman.
So
all the pressure's on her.
So what does that say about, like, well, first of all, who do you think is to blame for the failure of Suicide Squad? The director? Or the studio? I think it's the studio.
I'm going to say David Ayers because he wrote the script in 6 weeks.
I really think it's the studio regardless because I understand that they meddled a lot. And
they did re-edit his film. So it's like they re-edited the film, so maybe his version was awesome. But like that at the end, the dialogue was horrible.
You're right.
Horrible.
It was
horrible at the end. And I was like, was that one of the reshoots? Did they reshoot and they rewrote dialogue for that end? Because it was bad. But maybe it's because when it screened the first version, everybody said it was a great movie. It was a great movie, and then they recut it because they did reshoots and So did they ruin their own movie?
Possibly, and I think, and that's one of the things that I was thinking and talking about was that you cannot micromanage these kind of properties. You can't look at what Marvel is doing and consistently try to make these changes. If it was dark and didn't have any humor in it, look at the content for what it is first before you think, oh, it needs to be funnier. You know what I'm saying? The studios really need to let the comic people do their jobs. Okay. And I understand it's about money. I understand all that. But at the same time, you're gonna make your money back. I mean, this movie was so hyped up, so anticipated that it was gonna break records regardless in August.
No, it was. Everybody was gonna go.
Everybody was gonna see it regardless.
Aspen,
what do you think about that?
I had a thought, but y'all keep talking.
That's why I wanted. That's why I wanted to jump back to you because we'll ramble. So I wanted to get you in on this.
I agree with you. I understand that a lot of it is about money, but like you have to realize that a lot of movie, like, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? A lot of productions that are being made, they always announce it like now, and then like, oh, but it's not going to be released until like 2019. Like, I feel like that's what every single like superhero movie or like intense movie or well-known movie does. And then because they've said that, they have to be like, oh crap, we have to get this done quick, or we have to write the script now because.
Well, that's the reason they push them out so far is because they're supposed to be taking that extra time to write these scripts to where it's something to where like, okay, we invested, we worked it out, we went over revision after revision after revision. This is a good. That's why we're giving it 2 years because the shoot time is normally like 6 months.
Depending on the project.
I mean, because when they already had a script for Deadpool and they knocked that out in a year. They like from shoot to editing and post-production, they knocked it out in a year because they already had a script. So that extra year that they have when they announce a movie and says, oh, it's not going to come out, okay, it's 2016, it's not going to come out to 2018 or 2019, is because they're going to spend that extra time getting that damn script ready. And if they can't do that time, but once again, I did mention, it's like, it's on record, David Ayer spent 6 weeks on this script. So...
Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky in 3 days. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but what happened?
Sylvester Stallone should have wrote Suicide Squad then.
Like,
And I'm gonna pick up like all these chicks and bang them because I'm like that hot.
Where is he now? That's one of those stories. I want to know. No, I didn't do that again.
At least you only moved the stand.
Yeah. Terrence, you're like a freaking moron with the camera. I always get the camera angles right because I freaking film me banging all these chicks.